My name is Gaelynn Lea. Welcome to my weekly YouTube show, and I am very excited to introduce a special guest for today, songwriter and singer Michael RJ Roth. Do you want to tell people what you're about?
What I'm about. Well, I've been working on that for like all these many years, and I think that's kind of why I write songs. Actually, there's a song I have called "A Bat Flying in the Night," and it's like I'm like a bat flying in the night, singing songs to find out where I am.
That's
And
actually a really good way of putting it.
yeah, I thought it was a good line. So,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what you're about is a lifelong process, but yeah, songwriting is something that has always appealed to me from my youth, and I used to live up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and it was involved both in poetry and music. I published a literary magazine and
Oh,
did an anthology of Santa Fe poets, and um, was into that for a while, and then was playing music. I used to play with Harry Wolf's guy. That's his actual name, Harry Wolf.
that's an awesome name for an artist.
It is, yeah, and we still actually do some stuff together. But the usual path of a songwriter. God had like a billion children and got into the regular job thing. And uh, can you hear me?
Yeah, regular job. I
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, I see. Okay. You were signaling me
No, no, no.
to
Just
do something.
you have
Yeah,
time.
whatever that is. But the thing where you actually can, pay the rent and feed the kids.
Yes.
Did that for a while, and eventually ended up in the foreign service, which people don't know what that is, but it's like the diplomatic corps of the State Department. So I got to for like 14 years, I was traveling around different countries, working in embassies, and all kinds of roles. You do political work, you do economic, or I was a labor officer, down in El Salvador. I was in Cameroon and did a lot of human rights stuff down there. You do consular work. You do I don't know if you I recommend anybody who wants an adventure. It's state.gov is the place to look for that job. And yeah, I was in Egypt. I was in Iraq. That was my last
Jeez.
overseas. Yeah, and then I came back and I ended up working a couple years in the mothership in D.C.,
Yep.
which you know well because I started working in the with the disability rights team, international disability rights, and you had won the Tiny Desk contest at NPR.
Yeah.
And I was working for a lady named Judy Heumann, who is like the rock star of
Yep.
disability rights, as far as I'm concerned. And she really is. She's a wonderful person, and of course you know her.
Yep.
Um, and she's got a book out too, by the way, which is it's a good read.
Yeah, I
Uh,
have it. I have to read it. I'm
yeah,
so bad. I like bought it right away, and then I was like, "Crap! I still haven't read it yet."
I
So
know. I have it. I started it. It's very good, and but I'm a very slow reader, because I'm reading like 20 books,
I know me
little
too.
bits and pieces,
Yep.
things like that. So I said to her, it's like, we got to get this lady at the State Department, and so I reached out, and we were able to connect, and you graciously accepted the request, and we had set up so that all of our embassies in the world could see you, and
Yeah, that was so cool.
yeah, it was, and they loved it so much, and you know, I got a lot of credit for doing something that basically you did. So
Well, but you thought of it. I don't know. I never in a million years would have pictured doing anything connected with the State Department. So it was very
yeah,
very cool for us. And then we've done a few things since then.
right,
And it's like, it's kind of funny because no matter where you fall on the political spectrum, the State Department, diplomat wise, and like
yeah,
for foreign service workers, they really are doing good
mm,
work all over the world. And the more I learn about it, the like more respect I have for that branch of what our government
yeah.
does. It's really cool. So
Well, that's one thing that I'm confirmed in is that from working in all those countries and seeing what we do, we are absolutely the greatest force for good in the world.
It's true.
So it really
Yeah,
pains me when I hear people talk our country down. But
I know. It's a rough times.
yeah,
But this, I did a thing recently in June with the State Department with Central Asia, like
yeah,
Kazakhstan and
yeah,
Tajikistan, and that again, that's cool because disability rights are not really widespread all over the world, and it's
they're
sort
not.
of a new concept, and so to be able to find a way in, there's no way I would be talking to anyone in Tajikistan if I didn't have the State Department, like with all their relationships over there.
Yeah,
It's really cool. So I have a lot of respect. Paul and I have talked about maybe someday we would apply to be foreign service agents together.
yeah.
But right now I'm like, meh. A, COVID. B, I want to see what happens with music first. But
Well,
it's
I, if you can do the music route, I would recommend that. It's, I mean, I think the foreign service work is great, but it's like, you're doing what somebody else wants you to do,
yeah,
you know.
I suppose that's true. You can be kind of independent. So now you're back at it because you're retired from there,
Yeah,
right?
I retired 3 years ago. I'm gonna shut off my email here because I think it's beeping. I don't know if you can hear that, but
Yeah. Well, it kind of froze when the
yeah.
alert went off. Okay, there you go. You're back.
Yes. So yeah, I retired 3 years ago, and so I was faced with the opportunity to do what I was doing back in my 20s, and I thought, it's like, if I don't do this, it's crazy. It's like I don't, it doesn't matter if I'm able to, be any good at it or not. It's just like I have the opportunity to do it,
Yep. No, that's a huge deal.
and so yeah, so I started. Actually, I hadn't written anything for about 8 years, and then I started again, and in that couple years, 3 years time, managed to get a bunch of songwriting, well, contest awards. I don't know if people count
Well, that's
those
still
as
pretty awesome. I mean,
songwriting
yeah.
awards, but and so it made me kind of warm and fuzzy, and it's it's a little bit of a resume thing you can say like, oh yeah, I did this, it's like,
Yeah.
but yeah, but I'm still just the kind of the grungy folk singer, dragging my songs through the dirt, and seeing what I can pick up, and
Yep. Well, that's actually kind of what everybody is. I
yeah,
mean, I feel the same way if it makes you feel any better.
no,
So, I don't
you
know.
know, it's
It's an
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Well, let's have a song from you. What one do you want to start with?
Well, I we'll start with the latest one, which is called "I Must Ride." It's a little bit of being out in New Mexico. I actually belong to the Western Music Association. Although I'm not a cowboy, and I don't really write cowboy songs. But this is kind of a feel of that.
As
So
close as it'll get to a
probably
cowboy song.
probably for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, they put up with me. So I appreciate that. In fact, I'm playing at an open mic there here in New Mexico tomorrow night. So
Will
we'll
that be
see.
online anywhere?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be on. They'll have some video they can share
Okay.
of it. I know, but yeah, I don't really know. I just know I'm
That's
going.
cool. Well, I'm gonna leave the screen so you can play,
Okay.
and people can see you fully, and then I'll be back when you're done.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
See ya.
Some people say that I am the enemy, though I've committed no crime. If I don't pack my bags and leave town, it's the end of me. So I ride in the morning light. When freedom calls, I know that I must answer the cry of an eagle. Open skies, I don't know where I can go, but I'll take my chances, and I know I must ride. know I'm no saint, no, I'm not a holy man, though I've been baptized in wine. But I won't lay my fate in the hands of another man who tells me my soul is in mine. When freedom calls, I know that I must answer the cry of an eagle in open skies. I don't know where I can go, but I'll take my chances, and I know I must ride. I was born to be free and not into slavery. So freedom comes at a price. I must speak when I believe. It's not cowardice or bravery, only truth in the face of lies. When freedom calls, I know that I must answer the cry of an eagle in open skies. I don't know where I can go, but I'll take my chances, and I know I must ride. Yes, I know I must ride.
Awesome. So that is an original song, right?
Yeah,
When did you write it?
just this year. It's on my website. You can find it, or Spotify and all that stuff.
Yeah. And your website is easyheroes.com, right?
Yes,
Is
or
there
you
a
can
story behind that name?
Easy Heroes. I had written a bunch of poems that I called Easy Heroes at one point. And I guess it's just the idea that it's easy to be a hero. Just do the right thing.
Okay, cool. I was wondering what I actually have been meaning to ask you that for a very long time.
Oh,
So you
okay.
so you put that song out on like Bandcamp or do you do other
It's on
websites?
CD Baby, but it's on
Okay.
my website, which is a Bandzoogle website. I don't think you can download anymore from CD Baby, so the website is the place to get it if you want to
Okay.
download it. But you can listen to it on Amazon, iTunes, like say Spotify, all these things.
Cool.
But the website is the one stop shop. You can listen or download there. Yeah. So
Cool. Well,
yeah.
everybody's saying that was great. Love that you do these shows. You are both, yeah. And then one guy said, really cool. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Nice song. That was great. So good feedback from the audience that's tuned in live.
Oh, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah, it's really fun to have the same people kind of come in every week. Maybe not everybody's the same. There's probably some new people here too, but
Yeah.
we've gotten to know each other, even though some of these people I've never seen, which is kind of a fun part about the internet.
That is nice. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've actually met people that way too, and feel it's like, oh yeah, I know you guys. But it's cool that do that, and then you never know, you might eventually meet. You know.
It's true. And that's true with the internet. There have been a lot of people that I have read about or like because of touring or
Yeah.
talked to online where you actually meet them in person later and it's
Right.
pretty rad. So someone else says, "Hey Mike, sounding good." She is in Ireland, I believe. So yeah, there's people from all over tuning
Holy
in.
cow! Wow.
So with you, are you playing you're doing mostly virtual probably right now, I would assume.
Yeah. Like I said, I
And
got
then
the
oh, wait, what were you going to say?
yeah the open mic tomorrow, and then next Saturday there's the Dallas Songwriters Association is doing a showcase. I'll be on that.
That's cool. So how do you write? Like what do they
Hmm.
pop into your brain? Do you sit down? Do you think of a prompt? Like I think it's so interesting to hear how other people are inspired to write cuz you probably even write more songs than I do. I don't write very often. I try to just when I have an idea, I try to write it down so I can come back to it later when I
Yeah.
have space in my brain. How do you do it?
Well, I try to write something every day. I have a little notebook, and I write even if it's just one line or one word, no matter how stupid it is. And then, after a while, I go back and look over those things and think, oh, that was kind of interesting, and then sometimes, something will give me an idea, something will happen on the news or you hear something, you notice something, and it gets you started, gets you thinking. Um, and I got a new song coming out, not for a while, but it's called "Just to Keep Breathing." But I was driving down through Bernalillo, New Mexico, which is along the Rio Grande here, and there's an office of probation and parole, and so I decided, this line came into my head. It's like, she's got a steady job done on probation and parole, and then they started a whole song. So
That's so cool.
you don't know where it's gonna. I just thought that seemed kind of cool, interesting.
So you write it down as soon as you can, so that you don't lose it either. That's kind of what I do.
Oh yeah, you have
Yeah.
to. I mean, because it's like at night you go into sleep and you get an idea and you think, oh, I'll remember that in the
No,
morning.
you won't.
You never do,
Never ever. It's so
ever.
disappointing. I have a couple different songs that are lost to the ether for that very reason, actually.
Yeah,
You
I
think you're gonna make it? Can you
yeah.
hear me okay?
There was a little break up there, but
Oh,
yeah.
I probably was too loud. Um, somebody asks me, who are your influences, Mike?
Oh well, I grew up in I'm fairly experienced in life. Let's put it that way. And so I grew up with the era of like Leonard Cohen and Joni Mitchell and
Yeah.
um, Jackson Brown, Crosby, Stills and Nash. I also there was a guy named Jacques Brel, a French Belgian actually writer who was very influential on me. A lot of the poets, great poets, um, just about everybody, I mean, international, American and international poets have influenced me, and just the way you have to look at things differently. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at something. Uh, looks just totally ordinary, but somebody else will see something else. You know.
Yeah. Well, the best advice I got about writing was from a poet friend of mine
Yeah.
who said that you can say something very commonplace, but
Yes.
you can't use the same words. Like he said, really try to avoid like cliche phrases,
Yeah.
and you can allude to them, but you should think of a new way to say things. But it doesn't mean the ideas have to be particularly complicated. But like it's like not reusing the same phrases that you hear every day makes people kind of like it's pricks your ears, I guess, to be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I know
Little
what they're
twists and
saying, but I've never
turns.
heard that way. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, country music. The Nashville writers, man, they're so good at that, at
yeah,
turning a phrase around.
yep.
They're like the best. And I've learned a lot from them too. Even though I've never been able to write a top 40 song, but you never know.
You never know. You still got some life years, so do I. We all do. Hopefully, everybody will make it through and keep producing stuff and putting it out there. I'm grateful. I mean, I cannot believe how different it would be if COVID was happening without the internet. It's just
Yeah, yeah,
so because there's so much you can do from home. I just released a little live album from my shows here, and
okay,
I'm planning to record, but I can do it from home, which even 10 years ago I don't think I would have been able to really
no,
accomplish that. So, yeah,
yeah,
we're in a good. I mean, this is a good way to
yeah.
use your creative time for sure.
I
Um,
remember typewriters.
yeah, I don't, but I imagine they existed, and it would be pretty slow going, and it would be hard to save stuff and come back to it. Chris Jones asks from Liverpool, UK, do you write as a poem and add music, or do you have a tune and then add the words? Sounds like you might have the words first, right?
Well, it's interesting. When I first started writing songs, I was always writing from the tune. I was always
Oh,
trying to come up with the tune and then find out the words that went with that.
okay.
But as time went on, at some point, it turned around completely, and now I mainly write uh, lyrics first, and then that actually helps me to be more creative with the music.
Yeah,
You know, because I tend to get really stuck in kind of the folk framework of music.
yeah,
And folk country, whatever. Although I try to mix things up. So yeah, I tend to write from the lyrics more. It kind of gets me, and I start to hear the tune from that and then see how it works. So that's been my sort of standby. But that last song I wrote, actually, I had that tune sitting around for about 15 years, and then just remembered it again, and um, that got me writing the song. I try to
Cool.
figure out what it's about.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Well, do you want to do another one for us? What do you got picked out for the second song?
Yeah. So this is a song. It's called "The Price of a Song," and if you want to know what inspired that, it was just this whole discussion that all of us as musicians have been facing. It's like as the music
Point zero
industry is
point zero
collapsing.
zero three cents per
Yeah,
song.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of the common idea that music is free, for the consumer, and it's like you want people to hear it, but at the same time, I don't know if what it costs to write a song, and
Yeah.
so I came up with that lyric, and that actually as a lyric. I wanted actually in the Nashville Songwriters Association for their lyric contest, and the Great American Song Contest, the Dallas Songwriters Association, and the Mid Atlantic Song Contest. So I think that maybe it struck a chord, at
Yeah.
least the lyrics. And then got together with a lady named Erin Michelle. I don't know if you know her, but
No.
she's a Maryland songwriter, and she's really good. And so we came up with the music for this, and I think she may actually come out with a new version because she's such a beautiful singer. Hopefully, it'll sound a lot better than what I do. But
Whatever. But I'm ready to hear it. So this is a
yeah,
song that musicians out there listening should relate to, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll be back.
Okay, doke. I want a ticket to heaven. We want that last drop of wine. We want to end the discussion and stand where the spotlight will shine. We all want something for nothing, like nothing ever went wrong. We want it all. We want it all for the price of a song. The price of a song is the last glimpse of beauty before you go blind. The wounds of a soldier cut down under fire, the scar left behind, the tears of a mother with the child in her arms, the Judas kiss of a faithless lover who will rip out your heart for the price of a song. There's a song in the thunder and lightning, on the bloodthirsty edge of a knife, in a shot from a bottle of whiskey, pushing emptiness back in the night. There's a song on the highway before you, between the prison bars of a cell, and a cry out to God in the midst of misfortune, a glimmer of heaven while walking through hell. But the price of a song is the last glimpse of beauty before you go blind. The wounds of a soldier cut down under fire, the scar left behind, the tears of a mother with a child in her arms, the Judas kiss of a faithless lover who will rip out your heart for the price of a song. When I think of the times I've been injured, the ways I was maimed by the things I did wrong, and the pain that inevitably lingers through the night and into the dawn. I know I'm not one of the chosen. I know that I'm not very strong, but I know every time I was broken, I broke into song. I broke into song.
Wow, that is like some awesome poetry. I really like that one. Thank you for doing that one. Is that recent or how long ago was that?
Couple years.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's really applicable today too. That's what's so fun about music is it cycles through these periods of meaning. At
Uh,
least I feel like I don't know if you agree with that, but it feels like that to me where they take on new meaning depending on what's happening in the world, you know?
yeah, it can. Yeah, the context, it's an old song that meant one thing 30 years ago could mean something different now, depending, how things become significant that weren't before somehow, or a word gets a new meaning. I can't think of a good example of that, but songs do come around.
Well, like social justice songs for sure,
Yeah.
kind of. But like even with that one with Spotify, that whole debate is kind of coming on again now in a new way
Mm-hmm.
when it's being revealed that music is not really the priority of that company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants to know, do not do Spotify as the only way to consume music, but support artists on things like Bandcamp and on their websites and stuff, because that's where they, or Venmo and PayPal and those kind of things, because those go to the artists. I think Spotify has a place for discovery maybe, but beyond discovery, I think artists are not getting the right compensation.
Yeah, I think it's something like, what do you need? Like 250 listens on Spotify to equal one CD, or is it
It's
might be
a
more, like 5,000 or something? I don't know.
I did the math once. I think it's 213 times you have to listen to it to be like each song. Like
Yeah.
if you want to pay the artist what it used to pay on iTunes to download it, which was 67 cents, I think you have to listen to it 213 times on
Mm.
Spotify. It's ridiculous, but we're not going to complain all day, although I
No,
have strong
we're
strong
not
feelings.
complaining.
No, I
No,
guess you're right. It's educating, right?
we're just, yeah,
Yeah, of the people, but
cussing you out. No, it's all right.
yes. Chris Jones says, I used to read lyrics on an album before buying it, but now I'm led by music and performances, and the lyrics seem to match and sometimes surprise. I am a lyrics person personally, so I like listening to music, but if I realize I hate the lyrics, it's over. Like,
Yeah,
I
no.
just can't do it. I don't know. But I think everybody approaches it. Some people, like my bandmates, they
Yeah.
never know what words I'm singing. Like, one time one of my guitarists was like, "Wait, did you just say this line?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, that's really good." And I was like, "What did you think the words were?" And it was like something that sort of sounds the
Yeah,
same but totally what. And so they just don't listen. They are listening to only the music really. And I
yeah.
think it's so funny that we can take in music so differently, depending on how our brains work. I suppose is where it comes down to it. But
I guess, and I just, but I talk to people in my generation. It's like who just now are starting to hear the lyrics to some of the songs we listened to in the '60s, and we.
oh yeah, were they weird? Like, what do you mean? I guess. Or you just you're more cognizant perhaps.
No, no, we never knew what the words were. It just, or we heard different things or something like that. I can't,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
I don't know if you guys. I mean, who knows? Maybe you won't remember, but you know the song "Freshman." I don't know. It was like popular when I was in high school. I hope you don't, 'cause it's not a particular. It's not my favorite song, but
I
there was a
don't.
line in there that went, "She a punk who rarely ever took advice," and my best friend in high school always sang "Gia Punkarelli," Never took advice. And I was like, that can't be the words. Like, there's no way that's the words. And
Right.
so we had to go look it up one day. And then she's like, oh, I guess I just always heard Gia Puncarelli. So it made me laugh because I was like, I guess you could write that in a song, but why would you? Probably you wouldn't. But who knows?
Yeah.
Well, so any new things on the horizon before you do your last song, or and then I wanted
Yeah.
to ask one last question before we end, but I'll let you tell people where to find you or what's new in your world, what you plan to do on sabbatical. That's
Uh,
what I'm calling COVID now.
I don't know. This is kind of just been like working for me. I've probably been working more during this than, I mean, on, writing, trying to, get things done. And I, haven't been performing all that much, but when I can, I do some of these things. But um, I did the professor down at the University of New Mexico, Sam Negri. He invited me to record. He does a digital media class, And so I recorded for his class, which was, I guess, on Zoom. I didn't see them, but so I got some tracks laid down. So hopefully I'll be coming out with a new recording. He actually did one last year that became this EP. I don't know,
Cool.
let's see if that shows up.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. What's it called again?
I've been dragging these old songs around. I can't
Oh yeah,
tell.
nope. I think it. So it's a blue cover with red and black underneath. Is it a sunset?
Fix it. Sunset with the truck driving into it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it has the price of a song on it and some other good stuff. I think just guitar vocal. So hopefully, sometime in the next couple months, I'll be coming out with another recording based
Cool.
on those.
Well,
Hopefully,
that'll be
because they
fun.
were live. It was like you just do one song and then you do another song. It's not like we were in a studio, making a formal production album. Where you go and fix things up. So it's basically just live recordings. But he does a great job of getting that sound down.
Yeah,
So there's that.
that's
Yeah,
cool. Well, so
yeah,
before we end on your last song, I do have a question. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, knowing since yesterday how far in advance we booked this, right? That you were
yeah.
coming on. I was wondering if you had any thoughts to share because people aren't traveling right now, obviously,
Right.
abroad especially. But what do you think are some of the best ways to like really keep an open mind or learn about other cultures that may or may not involve actually going there? Because like some
Yeah,
people are never going to be able to afford to or won't be foreign service agents basically, and they won't live in all these
yeah,
different countries. But what has been the way that the avenue in where you is it just talking to people? Is it reading certain things?
yeah.
Like what has helped you?
Well, we have a very multicultural society now. So if I'd say go down and get to know people. Like sometimes there are centers, or little places of town where you tend to have one culture or another that it's like it's like Italian food, but I think actually the best way is to learn a language
Oh, I was not
because
even thinking of that.
yeah, learning the language helps you to understand how they think in that culture. Because every language has its own perspective.
Yeah.
Uh, and they use different muscles and things. It's like I don't know. There's just a different attitude. I feel like kind of a different person when I'm speaking one language or another than you
Wait, how
know.
many languages do you speak?
Well, I don't know that I say I speak any, but I've studied several. French, Japanese, Arabic, Russian, Spanish.
Dang.
Little this and little that. But
That's so
if you
cool.
if you don't keep them up,
Yeah.
it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
I
you've
could.
gotten exposed to them in like a more than just like totally beginner way.
No, I've used them. I mean, there were times when I was functional in one language or another. Not great,
Yeah.
like some languages, you need 10 years to get it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, enough to get. It's like, for instance, in Japanese, it's like a lot of things about Japanese are very simple.
Yeah.
They only got two tenses, and it's pretty easy to pronounce. But it's hard to have a conversation if you don't know what your social status is compared to the person you're speaking to, or the
Oh,
person you're speaking about, because the politeness is such an important part of that language that you can really insult somebody just by using the wrong verb form. You
so I
know,
would definitely accidentally do that like all the time, probably.
I'm sure Americans do it all the time.
Yeah.
That's why they think we're barbarians. So yeah, but that's for an example, that's one thing.
No, that's really interesting. Well, so language, yeah, Paul and I just signed up for a full year of great courses. It's those online classes you can take, but it's all
Yeah,
online now, so you don't have to buy like every course
yeah,
individually. And
yeah,
there are some language courses on there, and I have pondered maybe taking some. That's good advice. So take a language.
yeah.
If you are bored during coronavirus, then you can kind of immerse
It's a
yourself.
great thing to do. Yeah, and especially if you can find somebody to talk to who's a native speaker, then um, they might even enjoy doing it.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's cool. Somebody said Spanish and Portuguese are similar to Japanese in that respect. So that's interesting. I suppose there are different cultures that
Not to
is
the
more
degree
important.
Japanese is.
Yeah.
That's why
Well,
that's why they have to exchange business cards when they first meet, because they have to know
oh,
which one is the superior.
whoa. Yeah, that's so interesting. Whoa. So did you ever live in Japan then?
I visited. I never
Okay,
lived there. Yeah.
cool. Ah, very, very interesting. Well, so let's have your last song, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna hang out for a few more minutes with the peoples here.
All
I'm
right.
so glad you could join me today. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So this last song is called "Homeless Sky," and actually, it's listed as one of the top 100 songs for homelessness by a group called Hope for Restoration, which does a lot of work with homelessness down in Orange County, California. Well, this song's about Seattle, but he's actually doing something you might want to check. The longest day, longest night, they call it. There's an event, and they're going to be doing some stuff. I'll get in touch with you about that.
Yeah, the
But
longest night.
yeah, Hope for Restoration. It celebrates because it's the shortest day of the year
Oh
on
yeah.
December 21st, but for the homeless, it's the longest night.
Okay, interesting.
So anyway, it's a good organization. Hope for with a number restoration.org if you
Okay.
want to look them up. Yeah,
Maybe if anyone wants to type that in the comments, then other people can find it after this show is over.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, so this is your song that you wrote for that?
No, I just had written it, and
Oh,
he had run across it and got in touch with me about it, and so I didn't know it, just happened to he
cool.
found it, so it's cool.
That is
So
awesome. Well, I'm gonna leave again, and we'll
okay,
listen to you play.
okay. I'm really not a drinking man. I come here for the atmosphere. Stones throw from the Goodwill store, where the wounded drag in from the battle. On the invisible front of the new Civil War, while I'm nursing the beer in Seattle. And the morning fog will steal your dreams like a wallet from your shabby coat. Before your very eyes, life never measures up, it seems, to that poetry you like to quote. Beneath the homeless sky, the homeless sky. Body shops on boomtown streets. It's not the town it meant to be. It always wants a little more. And who am I to begrudge them? The evergreen air is perfect and pure, but it carries an odor of judgment. And the morning fog will steal your dreams like a wallet from your shabby coat. Before your very eyes, life never measures up, it seems, to that poetry you like to quote. Beneath the homeless sky, the homeless sky, I'll sleep beneath the highway bridge when the weather gets too drunk again. Every day's a poker hand. My luck ran out at the age of 7, and I feel like a sailor lost out at sea, searching for signs in the heavens. And the morning fog will steal your dreams like a wallet from your shabby coat. Before your very eyes, life never measures up, it seems, to that poetry you like to quote. Beneath the homeless sky, homeless sky.
Sorry, I was like, I can't find the button to come back on. That was very beautiful. I was looking up the link to the homeless sky while you play, or to the longest nights. Hold on.
Oh yeah, okay.
There, I put it in the chat so people can look it up if they want.
Oh great, yeah.
Yeah, just because I think it's good to know what's out there for, especially with homelessness. Somebody said fabulous. I can hear Leonard Cohen and amazing. That's pretty cool. You're a really gifted songwriter. I hope that you keep putting stuff out there. It's
Well,
really really cool. Like the way
thank
you
you.
work words in is just holds their attention.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. So,
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
well, thank
Oh,
you.
well, it's so nice to see you again.
Yes, it is, and I hope we'll cross paths again sometime.
Yeah,
You never know.
yeah, I know you do never know. Well, maybe Folk Alliance on the line. I think I'm gonna be doing some disability accessibility stuff for the online Folk Alliance in
Okay.
January, February, whenever that is. So,
Yeah. Well, if
um,
there's anything down here that I can hook you up with, I'll
well, yeah,
be glad
keep
to
me in
do that.
mind. It's something cool. I'm trying to take some time off. I'm gonna talk about that after our interview, but taking some time off this winter. But come spring, I want to book
Yeah.
more things. I gotta write, and it's hard to do it when you're busy all the time. So,
Yeah.
or at least for me, I'm not the
Block
most
that time
prolific.
out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I figure as
Uh,
long as I'm not going anywhere, might as well like really not go anywhere. And
that's what the discipline is necessary. So,
well, I'll write you later for some tips on that. So,
okay.
well, thanks for coming, Michael. So nice to see you.
Yeah, same here. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I get out?
Oh, I got you. Oh, there you go. Hello, everyone. I am gonna get set up here for a couple tunes for you. Thank you for sticking around and listening to Michael's beautiful songs. I know I've heard him a little bit, but I don't think I've gotten to hear that many in a row, one on one. So that's pretty cool. He's a really great songwriter. So I'm gonna back up a bit. Paul's gonna hand me my violin, and then we can chat. Oh, wait, I'll draw this down. Oh yeah, I'll need to move the mic. I guess I moved it. And then I need my bow. Okay, one moment, getting set up. How's everybody doing? Anyone want to give me a life update while we're here? Then maybe just move the mic stand up a little and closer. Thank you. Maybe not quite that high. There you go. That should work, I think. Okay, so today I'm only gonna do two songs. There's a couple reasons. because, first of all, Paul is sick. Not like COVID symptoms, but he is not well. So he has a doctor appointment coming up online, so we're going to need the computer for that. And also, just I don't want to make it harder on him. And plus, it's been a very interesting week. I have some updates to share with you. Um, and then a couple tunes, and then I will be back next week with a different guest who you may have heard of, named Bob Boylan. He's the host of the Tiny Desk concerts, but he's also a musician himself. He's made like 4 albums this year alone, so he's going to perform some of his music. But yeah, so I'm going to give you a couple updates before I play. So, first of all, I have made the official decision. I am going to take a sabbatical from November to March, but not from these shows because I really, really enjoy them. And I want to keep doing them. So I'm going to do a sabbatical for like 5 straight months to write new music and work on the book that I want to do. That's really important to me that I want to actually get it done before we start touring again. So at least the first draft. So I want to get that underway. So I'm not going to do a lot of, probably not very many at all, shows during that time. But in order to prepare, I ended up like sending out about 1,000 million emails and working super late into the night all week. And so my eyes twitching from looking at the computer too much and having some heart palpitations because I did not get enough sleep. So this week I'm going to take it easy and be refreshed for next week just because I got a lot done this week. But the other piece is really um, exciting to me is I decided I wanted to have more special guests on these shows because I really enjoy having people to talk to and exposing you to new music, people that I like and respect and enjoy listening to. And just to make each show a little bit different. So I decided yesterday to make a calendar of that people could book a slot if they want to perform. Bartek's gonna be one of the guest artists eventually. So that's pretty cool, and but who watches the show a lot? But like a ton of different artists. So I emailed pretty much everyone I know um, who has like some kind of artistic skill. It's not all music. Sometimes it's painting or dancing or writing, but it's often music. And I ended up sending out this little request for people to book their own show, and I'm booked all the way through January now, which is like ridiculous. I never imagined that it would go that fast. And so I'm going to have a different guest with me every single week. Um, and starting next week, well, starting today, because Michael was part of that text message chain. So next week will be Bob Boylan, and I'm going to try to list the artists where you can look ahead to see who's joining me. And then I'll play more than 2 songs on the other weeks, but this week I'm just going to take it a little easy. So I'm going to start with the newest song I have written. It's called This Hunger Won't Leave. And then if anyone has a request for an improvisation, I'm going to end on an improvisation. So let us begin with This Hunger Won't Leave. I'm going to check my tuning. This is this is the 5-string violin that I rarely use, and that's another thing I want to work on more during the sabbatical. Because I think it's so fun, but I don't play it enough to be like that comfortable on it, so I gotta work on it. So this is a very beautiful handmade instrument from a place called Seaman Violins in Chicago. So here we go. I am going to perform This Hunger Won't Leave. Hi to the new people saying hello. Hello, Barry and Tina. Nice to see you. Of course, Bartek and Chris. I know there's a bunch of other people farther up on the chat, so thanks for hanging out. So here we go. wasn't in tune enough. Hold on. This little guy is a little trickier to tune than my other violin. Okay, that's better. I'm gonna start over. Here we go. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay, good. It's all good. Here we go. Each brand new day it begins just the same, filled with hope for the future and dreams of restraint. But stumbling blocks seem to litter the way, and by nightfall I'm broken and swallowed again. I want to reach higher than familiar planes, but my habits are shackles, they drag me away. Isn't there more to this world than my pain? The horizon, it glitters, but it's too hard to say. Can't you travel on up your mountain? Can't you travel on up your mountain? Can't you travel on up your mountain? No, this lesson won't be. All I desire is spiritual weight to better the world and to alter my fate. But all I'm consuming my ego rejects, and I'm trapped in a maze, just retracing my steps. Can't you get it out of your system? Can't you get it out of your system? Can't you get it out of your system? No, this hunger won't be. Everybody's coming at it tense. It's plain to see, has it always been so hard to be a human? Everybody's sitting on the fence, including me. Do we run away or turn to face our demons? Can't you just admit that it's over? Can't you just admit that it's over? you just admit that it's over? No, this vision won't leave. The surface doesn't seem to make much sense, a clouded mass, but beneath it all, I know there is some order. Sifting through my fears, my hate, my loves, my emptiness, I will someday hit upon that boundless border. Won't you put your lips to this water? Won't you put your lips to this water? Won't you put your lips to this water and quench your thirst to be free? Won't you grab a hold of this hammer? Won't you grab a hold of this hammer? Won't you grab a hold of this hammer and build a new day with me? There you go. That is my newest song. It's out on the new EP, a live version from one of these shows actually that I was able to mix and kind of edit down. And but this is on the 5 string. It's pretty fun. So when I record a studio version, I think I'm gonna definitely use the 5 string for that one because I just love the low tones. So I think I'm gonna end the show with one improvisation. I was thinking maybe lullaby. I usually take requests though, so if somebody does have a request, please let me know what it is. And thank you so much. I'm glad you guys enjoy that song. Yay, I'm very grateful that you guys are here. This really makes my day to have some connection with people all over the world and be able to, especially now that I'm going to have guests every single week. I cannot wait to start that path. Some of them are people that I know from my hometown of Duluth, some of them are artists that I've met on the road. And then some of them are people you will have heard of, such as Bob Boylan next Sunday. So it's going to be a pretty fun way to do this, and they're booked all the way out through September 2021 because I kind of think the next time we will plan a full tour probably won't be till October 2021. Just kind of, it takes about 6 months to book, and unless things look really, really great before March, we won't probably start planning until March after my sabbatical. So October we'll be back on the road. 2021, that's the goal, anyways. So I'm gonna do these shows at least through September and hopefully build them up so maybe I can do them from the road. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't do it even when we're touring. So I am going to do one improvisation. I haven't seen any requests yet. Um, so, but maybe I'm gonna do a pathway because somebody said what path led me here, and I think that that's fun. I'm gonna do a winding path um, improvisation with a lullaby theme, if that's okay with you. So thank you so much for listening. I will be back next week with Bob Boylan as a special guest, and every week after, different guests will appear. I just want to say thank you so much to Michael RJ Roth for making the time to join us and share his beautiful lyrics and music melodies with us. He's a really gifted songwriter, so I'm glad that you got to hear him. So here is A Winding Path. I'm going to tune though, actually. I'm afraid of what I will find if I don't. So I saw earlier that Chris said he's done with, I believe he said chemotherapy, and he's celebrating. So congratulations, Chris. I'm sorry to hear that that was going on, but I'm glad that things are looking up. All of us are dealing with regular life in addition to COVID, and some people's regular lives have other difficulties or situations going on. So my heart goes out to you, but and I also am glad to hear that it went well. So good job, and keep up fighting, and enjoy the wine, because that's a good way to celebrate, I must say. Although I'm a beer whiskey girl myself these days, mostly beer, because you can't have too much whiskey. See if I can get it tuned. Ugh, what the heck? Good thing I tuned. You guys would have been crying, not out of beauty, out of sadness. Oh, whoops. Tuning the wrong peg. Oh, poor you guys. Anyone want to share something with me while you're watching me tune forever? Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's pretty close. I am not used to this. Um, because my violin, the one that I've been playing since eighth grade, which is the one I play on all the time, that one does not ever go out of tune. I like literally dropped it on the floor one time and it didn't go out of tune. So this one is a little touchier, but I think that's actually just more normal. So I'm done tuning. I am going to do a winding path for you. And then I'm going to say goodbye and we'll see you next Sunday. There you go. Thank you. That was Winding Path. I was picturing the bowing as the road and the plucking as the footsteps, if that makes any sense. So, just wanted to say thank you so much for coming to this show. And thank you, Michael, again for being here and being a guest with me. I will be back on Sunday, I believe it's the 13th of September, with special guest Bob Boylan of NPR Music and also his own music that he creates. And we'll be talking about his creation process and listening to some of his music. So, um, thank you for being my friend and my music supporters. If you leave any tips today, I will be. Oh, I was gonna split them with Michael. I don't know if he'll let me. We'll try to. I'll try to convince him he can donate them somewhere or something. But I want to support other artists through these shows as well. And I also, if you want to support my work, including the captions that are happening live each week, please consider joining my Patreon team. It is patreon.com/Gaelynn Lea, and that will help cover the caption costs. So, again, I hope you all have a great week. Congratulations, Chris, for a healthy rebound and recovery, and I hope that you continue along the path of health and peace. And to all of you, stay healthy and safe, and please keep in touch. Bartek, I'm glad you like the five string. I like it too. See you next week, everybody. Now I'm going to try to get Paul to come help me turn off the thing. See you soon. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you to Erica for the captions, and thank you to Michael for performing. Take care. See you soon. It's just that little end broadcast button. Bye, guys.